What's that mean? Live chat on, summary on, participant mode, anyone? No. All good. See if I can line this up. I did one last week in the horizontal mode, completely different. You had to move the camera miles away. So I've got the old Ray-Bans on tonight. Looking cool. Years ago, I never thought of trusting an online ophthalmologist. I can't think of the word now. Tell me my memory. Too many years of drinking. Head's gone. Optician. Years ago, I'd never trusted an online optician with your eye care. But obviously, if you go to a physical one, then when you get your prescription, you've already had your eyes checked out. So then you can buy what you like. So I bought these Ray-Bans. I've always fancied a pair of Ray-Bans. These go dark when the sun comes out. They've got all sorts of different protections on the lenses and that. And they're brilliant for riding my bike because they don't slip. They just stay where they're supposed to be. The only thing I probably have, I wear an earpiece for work, and that seems to squash them and make them quite uncomfortable. So hopefully we'll get a few people to pop in. I've got a new camera this week. I'll show you that in a minute. There's a video going up tomorrow night with my new camera, which I thoroughly enjoyed making. It was nice to get a day out because obviously, if you do actually come in as well, share it out for us if you will. See if we can get anybody in. YouTube seems to be a bit of a quiet place this month, and obviously going live at this time of night, you're not going to get that many people in. But we'll give it 10 minutes, and if nobody turns up, we'll move on. You see the title, it says, well, that was nearly awkward. Well, I went out and did a recording session the other day, not recording session, I went out doing my stuff the other day. Went to Mablethorpe, did a live stream on the way back, but on a different network on TikTok. So I gets back from there, and I've just been looking for about 10 minutes for the microphone I'm using. And the little bit that goes into the bottom of the phone, and I thought I've got to imagine it leaving it on the car roof as well, which wouldn't really work out for me, would it? Hopefully we've gone live on the right one, because we don't seem to be getting much attention today. Normally with this, you get one or two people popping in. Actually, it would be helpful, I suppose, if I actually scheduled them and people would know. I know last Thursday I only came on for about 15 minutes because there was only a couple of people in, and nobody wanted to chat, and it's quite difficult chattering away if you've got nobody in. Anyway, I suppose as this is going to end up left up as a live stream, we might as well just show the camera. So I bought the essential kit. They don't call it the kit. The essential version of the 360, the Osmo 360, which is a 360 camera, which is this. This is from DJI. It's another quality product from DJI. 4 people in. Hello. The reason you've got that on there is because it's got two lenses, one either side. That's how it becomes a 360 camera. Obviously, GoPros are the same, aren't they? And the idea is that you carry it actually the other way up. You carry it at that angle, like that, and it'll record everything that's above you and everything below you. So I actually bought this camera once before. I bought it in probably November, something like that. So I got it when it came, and it was a lot of money then, to be honest. It was well over 400 quid because you wanted the creator's kit. Well, the creator's kit came with some batteries and one of these selfie sticks. So the idea is this: with the 360 bit on it, you're supposed to carry it about a metre away from your body, and it dissolves the selfie stick. But I say I didn't need that because I've already got 2 of these, because I've got the 4 and the 5. So I've got 2 of these, so I didn't need them. Now the batteries for this camera are now the 1950 ones, because the ones for the 4, they're reasonable, but 50 minutes really, if you've recorded in 4K 60, you know, sort of 50 minutes and they're done. So what they did is on the Action 5 Pro, they also did the 1950 batteries as well. And that's these. So I already had 3 of them. And I thought, well, I've already got 3 of them. You know, they send one in the camera. So then you've got 4. So you've got 2 for each camera. So if you went out with the 5, hello, John Paul Glasgow, how you doing, mate? If you went out with the 5 and the 360, then you've got 2 for each. But I recorded the other day for probably an hour and a half, and you know, it never did actually make that go flat. So I just thought I'd show you it. Obviously, there's a video going up tomorrow night. I did a video the other day, and I used it. Is this channel about air growth? Yeah, of course it is, mate. Do you need any tips? Just, if you do, let me know. No, it's certainly not about air growth. We could do male grooming if you want. I actually shaved mine this morning, so I could still grow a bit, but not in. Well, I could still grow a full head of hair, but I don't know what that means. Victor Reznov. This. I don't. Yeah, I could do a transplant. I'm not really interested in hair, to be honest. I had it for the first 20 odd years of my life, and I found it quite boring. Good thing is with these, they've got a magnet on them, so you know which side to click it on. Whether that makes any difference in real life, I don't know. But make sure that's clicked on, because that would be sacrilege. So that's what it looks like. Now, if I never use this in, hello, Samir the Jedi. I'm trying. The good thing is with this, it's an excellent camera, standalone camera, if you just use it in single lens. So if you never use the 360, it wouldn't really matter. So there it is. You can record in many different things. I'll tell you what many different things you can record in. Obviously, you can use it as a stills camera. I think I've just took a photograph of myself. Nice. So, what am I doing? Normal video mode. You can do super night mode. No, it's not Fujitsu. No, it's a DJI. DJI Osmo 360, if you want to have a look at it online. It's basically, it's a 360 vlogging camera. I've been using their stuff for about just over a year. I've got a drone, one of their drones. I've got the Action 4, which is a good camera, but as long as the sun comes out. I got the Action 5 Pro for Christmas off my wife. I think I say I bought one of these in November, and at the time it was over £400 for the creators kit. And I thought, it's not really, I couldn't really work it that well, so I sent it back. And as soon as I sent it back, I thought, well, I actually really like to have kept that, but it seemed a lot of money at the time. So I nearly bought it again at Christmas, but I say I didn't need the creators kit anymore, so it took over £100 off it. And then I had an Amazon voucher, and that was it. You're also a white man. Oh, well, I didn't. Anybody can come in here. To be honest, I'm not really. I don't care what your gender is, what your colours are, or anything. Your pronouns, you can just do as you want, as long as you're not nasty to anybody else. And then you can't stay if you do that. But that's what it looks like. I say it's a cracking camera. I'm really pleased with it. I went out with it the other day. I'm putting a video up tomorrow night of a bike ride that I did with it. It's got rock steady, so it doesn't shake about on the bike. Let me just do that again. Put it in 360. So the idea is, if you've never used the 360 cam, hopefully can you see it? The idea is you actually just film away, and when you go into the editing software, you move the picture so you can just walk in a straight line down somewhere. And what am I doing now? Here we go. I don't know where I am. There we go. Come back to where it should be. The idea is, hello, run it. Bag. Some of these are not easy. Black or white is all right. Exactly. I'm not really bothered. The trouble is, in this world nowadays, everybody wants somebody else to be something else, don't they? Just get on with people, so long as they get on with you. If they want to be a dick, don't bother talking to them. It's a waste of time. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. I know some really nice guys. They get the Indian lads that own the garage. They're bang on. They're always there. Yeah. But that's what it looks like. You can see me twice. So if you're interested, if you've not seen the channel before, have a little subscribe, and then you can have a look at the video that I took with it yesterday. I took a few. I've started uploading to Instagram, TikTok, and obviously I do YouTube. I can't think anywhere else. Oh, Facebook, Facebook as well. It comes through for Instagram onto Facebook. So we'll try that. We're up to 666 subscribers. 666, the number of the beast. So in just over a year, I don't think that's too bad. Watch time hours are always disappointing. Trying to get people to watch your stuff nowadays seems a little bit more difficult than it used to do. Whether my stuff's not good enough to watch. Got a little trip planned for next week, so hopefully that should be all right. That stuff come today as well, John Paul, that you piffed to me. It seems quite chilling. That's going in. Well, if I ever win anything now, I always used to piff it to somebody else. But to be honest, with the new price increases coming up, I don't do that, because if you work out each one of them bottles at £47 each, there's 160 odd quid there, isn't there? So that's very kind of you. That's really, really good. I was just going to pay for it, because obviously you support me on everything that I ever do. So I was just going to pay for your shipping fee. There'll be one day, because you don't put any nick in it, and then just stand it in your drawer. It'll last forever and a day. I think some of it's a bit icy, but on a nice hot day, that'd probably be quite cool. Cool. Yeah, so I thought I'd actually bloody left the. To be honest, I've got quite a few, but I say they're all, as I get them in now, because I don't review. What I do now is I actually just put them in a drawer with no nicking, because before I used to nick them up, try them, and then leave them, or keep going back to them every now and again. So I've still got 50 bottles that I bought from when Louise's auction from that place, that QA Vaping in Australia. Okay, Stuart, how you doing? Nice to see you as well. In fact, a lot nicer to see you than it is to see me. So I'll just put them away now, so that one day I ain't got a vape, and I'll have one. Who did we get in the other week as well? Somebody else popped in, didn't they? We had a really good one the other week, didn't we? We were there about an hour and a half. Got on about all sorts of deep stuff. Apparently Mike's got... Mike walks around with his headphones on, so he never gets a notification. So that's his excuse, and he's sticking to it. It's the expo soon, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Next week I'll be in sunnier climes. Apparently it's going to be 20 on Monday and Tuesday. So hopefully we get a reasonable sort of do. The only trouble is at this time of year, it's what do you wear? Because it's too cold for shorts. 20 degrees, if you get in the shade, it'll be about 16, so it's too cold for shorts. But if you sit in the sun, it's too warm for not having, isn't it, really? Too warm for trousers. I just ordered myself a new pair of jeans. Who was it that told me about... it was a bloke called John... What did they call him? John Summer. I ain't seen him for ages. John McGarrett, something like that. Anyway, he told me about Big Dude, and I started having a look on there. And nearly every stitch of clothing I own come from there now. These cardigans. I've got 2 cardigans. One black, one grey. One leg short, one long. What you have? No, I ain't. No, I've got two long legs. Oh, -5. Bloody hell! It's going to be -2 here tomorrow night. I was looking because we fly ridiculous o'clock on Monday morning from East Mids, and I was hoping that it wasn't going to, get bloody snow out because it's a bit like Leeds Bradford there. It catches all sorts of bad weather. Leeds Bradford's the worst is the fog comes in because it's stuck right up in the air. And I noticed when we came in, because I obviously missed that flight last year, and as we were coming in, you sort of sat there waiting for it to go down, and you can see the outside of the aeroplane, and it's coming down like that, and you think, oh, another 5 seconds, and by that it was down because the runway's right up in the air in the fog. Crazy. So, well, we're doing better than last week anyway. Last week we ended up with about 5 people who didn't want to talk to me, and you sort of run out of words to say after about 15 minutes. So I actually dipped out early last week. Picked a bloke up tonight from Edinburgh. Well, he'd come from Edinburgh. I didn't pick him up from Edinburgh. And he's come out to get his golf clubs measured. So, because he's 6'10". I'm 6'3", and it made me look like a babby. Come on, YouTube, share it out. They're not very kind to us smaller creators nowadays, to be honest. I actually thought I'd gone live on the wrong channel there. I did one on the vape show last week, and that went really well. Loads of people have watched that. Like 85, and it was just a spark up live just to have a look at a few different bits. And it, you soon get people to watch you. Those were the days, weren't they? So I went live on TikTok as well, and I did really well because normally I don't have anybody on there. I actually got some people in. So look at this. It's time to get the sunglasses out. They're very 60s, these, aren't they? Even though they're this year's fashion, darling. I'll be rocking these on Monday, sat outside a boozer, drinking pop. God, these are so comfortable. Victor Reznor, in 1688, the Dutch invaded England. William the Orange landed at Torbay and became King of England. 1,000 years ago, where I live in a place called Gainsborough, Lincolnshire, was the capital of England for 3 months, and the king was called Sweyn Forkbeard, and his son was called King Canute or Canute. And Sweyn Forkbeard died, so his son took him back to Viking land, wherever that may be, and I don't know where it. Obviously, took him back to Scandinavia, and the capital of England reverted back to London, which it still is. Anything else? I didn't like these when they first got them. Anyway, the cat wants to go out, so you're just going to have to give us a minute. I can't find the camera. Oh, there it is. I've let the cat out. That's some crazy knowledge. Yeah, there's a bit more knowledge as well. I can't remember what year it was, but Henry VIII didn't like the Jacobites, and they were practicing their religion. So Henry VIII decided, they was going to ban that religion. So they all used to go in secret. They used to worship in secret. And the guy that owned the manor house in Gainsborough, which is now called Gainsborough Old Hall, he used to allow them to go in there and practice their religion, do their ceremonies and stuff like that. And then they went from America, and there was some people from Gainsborough on the rosters on the ships, which were the founding fathers, and but not on the Mayflower, on a different one. And YouTube's just come up with a question for you. What colour's your toothbrush? Yeah, that's also true as well. If you go on the internet, if you go on to the World Wide Web and put Gainsborough Old Hall in, that's Gainsborough Old Hall, and it'll show you the relationship between the founding fathers of America, and it'll also tell you about King Canute and his father Swain Forkbeard, and apparently his granddad was called somebody Bluetooth, which is where the word Bluetooth came from for wireless connection. I don't know if it's true that bit or not, but that's what somebody told me. You learned all that stuff watching Vikings. Are you watching the new Game of Thrones thing, which I can't remember the name of because I'm thick? What do they call it? That is brilliant. I watched the first 3 episodes. I watched 2 on... I watched 1.5 on Monday night, and then I watched the other 1.5 last night because I couldn't get the third one to download. So I watched 4. What's true? What was true? Yeah, it's good. No, there is 4. I think I've watched 4. Have I watched 4? Tell you what it was. I watched 2, because I think they're only half an hour long from what I remember. And then all of a sudden it wouldn't download 3. So I had a hell of a job to get it to download 3. I can't remember if I did watch 4 or not, or whether 4's on next Monday. Yeah, Bluetooth, yeah. Yeah, that's true, yeah. King Canute's dad was called, I can't remember his other name. Well, we've got 2 pubs in Gainsborough. We've got a few more than that. But one of them is called Canute, and next door to it is the Swain Forkbeard, which is a Weatherspoons pub. And that's the reason it's called that, because that was Canute's dad. Another true story. We've been dining out on the fact that we were capital of England for 3 months, for a long time. Billy Canute? Billy Forkbeard? I don't know. Swain. So I wonder if that's short for wine. He was a wine. I don't know how he died, whether he died in combat or whatever. But anyway, his son decided he would take his dad home to do the Viking thing, and off he went. So there you go. And if you look in there was a bald guy that goes around on Facebook sitting in pubs for 12 hours. Oh, Harold, yeah, that's probably right, to be honest. Anyway, he goes around and sits in pubs for 12 hours at a time and does a full day's meals and drinks and that. And he did the Swain Forkbeard the other week. I don't know what they call him, a bit of a speech impediment. It says me. Anyway, what do you rent to me specs? The thing I wish with these, they're a little bit better. They are quite thin. And I said to my daughter, I wish they were a bit heavier. She said they're probably made not to be heavy, so they're really light. And they're brilliant when I'm on my bike because they don't slip down out, and so they change colour, reactively. So if it gets a bit, even if it gets a bit bright, there's no sun out, but it gets bright, it actually just darkens it off that little bit. They do start to go a little bit dark with these lights in here because they are quite bright. So I was watching Stephen tonight, and he got quite a few in. He's doing quite well. I don't know if you know Stephen. He does a similar sort of thing to what I do on here, where he goes walking about. I started uploading to Lincolnshire photographs on YouTube on YouTube, Facebook if you're interested. It's an open group, and I just started posting on there as well. I think I'm just looking for the dopamine hits. I've got the proper vicar job on today, haven't I, really? Just want the little dog collar in there. Start blessing you. Even the trolls have gone to bed. I remember when we first started, we used to get all them people in. Baldy. Well, today's been weird, really. Started off all right, then got really busy and you couldn't do them, and then got just went dead as a dodo in the end. And here's me trying to get some wages together, and everybody's paying in bloody card. Which middle of the month, you just wonder why they're all paying on card. Yeah, they send you that out for free, even in the small thing, because I think if you put these down and scratch these lenses, you've got to send them off to DJI. Whereas if you get the other ones, is it the Go? What do they call them? The other ones, the 360 cams that everybody's got. If you get them, they send you a sucker out and 2 lenses, and you literally stick it to it and unscrew them and change your own lenses. But these have got to be sent off. Well, now, because all DJI products, when you first start with them, they want registering. So I registered it, and it offered 2 years insurance, which was 4 lens changes for 32 quid, including postage, I think. So I thought, I'm having some of that. You can have it on the drone as well for flyaway, but it's quite expensive. That's about 150 quid, which just after your drone's flown away, doesn't seem that much money. But, for the amount of times you use it, 150 quid a year is quite a lot of money for insurance. I didn't bother with the 4 or 5. We'll need to get, yeah. I was trying to watch something on Twitch. Bearing in mind there's no nudity on Twitch, I don't think. And I went to click on this thing and it went, oh, you've got to verify your age to watch this. And you're like, I'm 60 years old. Why would I want to verify my age to watch a Twitch stream? Even if they were naked, but which they're not. It's Big Brother, isn't it? That's what it's all about. Let's get everybody. Let's find out what everybody's doing. I mean, all they're going on about in the news now is, pedos, isn't it? Really, they seem to be. They must be burying something somewhere, because normally they start talking about things in a big way if they're trying to bury something else. Probably trying to get Starmer off the hook. No, let's not go political. I tell you what, even the right man would actually put themselves forward to be a Prime Minister of the UK. I wouldn't do it for all the bloody tea in China. The first day, they're all going on about you, and the first day you get in office, they start slagging you off. What's that thing before it? It's like a funny... I wish you were the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. I don't. No, I wouldn't do it. It doesn't matter who you are. Was it? I don't know. Javid Rashid? Why would you want me to be the Prime Minister? I don't think I fancy that for a plan. And I don't support that side of politics, to be really honest. I'm not into him at all. I wouldn't vote for him, even if they paid me. But the thing is, the way that the democracy works is once they have been voted in, they're in for the minimum term, unless they get caught for something else. You used to work for George Galloway. I bet that was interesting, wasn't it? That's if you really did. The trouble is on the internet, somebody with no profile picture. Galloway, I listened to a speech when people were on about the NHS, and he was it him? Sure it was. On about his next door neighbour or somebody up the road dying of cancer, and he said you could hear the screams in the night because there was no way to... nothing you could do for him. Was that him? Or was that Tony Benn? I can't remember. I used to like Tony Benn as well. I thought he was a good politician. I didn't like his politics, but I thought he was amazing. The thing is with Tony Benn, he actually renounced his titles because his real name was Sir Anthony Wedgwood Benn, and he renounced his titles because he was a socialist. I don't think he gave all the money away, though. I wouldn't mind having Canada's PM. Well, I don't know what is it a girl? I think, I mean, you look at the way you look at the way businesses, if you're not in, hello, Graham, spelt correctly. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. You look at the way these things happen, don't you? It's like with e-cigarettes in the UK. There's no proof whatsoever or no cause to say that they actually do any harm. Nicotine's as strong as what caffeine is. And then all of a sudden you've got to tax it just in case kids do it. Which part of China am I from? The north. Yeah, good. Yeah, we're just waiting for the results to come back for Lou's scan, which is the trouble is with that. It's supposedly every 3 months. I think they've slipped a bit with this one, but so you have probably 6 weeks of absolute like, wow, that's brilliant, and then all of a sudden, as you're starting to get to 8 weeks, you keep checking on her to make sure she's not losing weight or this, that, and the other. Then you get into the 3rd month and you're dreading it because it's you've only got 4 weeks to go. And then she goes, and has it done? And it takes absolutely bloody ages to get the results, which is another nightmare. But that's the way it is. Other than that, we're doing all right. Last week we had my mum and dad not very well, which they're getting to the age where they don't need to be not very well, if you know what I mean. And I think that's sort of evening itself out a bit, so that's not too bad. Which part of China are you from? I tell you what, they do put some stuff, don't they? I'm a bit tall to be Chinese. Hey, that bloke I got in tonight, 6'10". Now he was a boy. So he plays golf, so he's really serious at it, and he's finally decided to buy himself a set of ping cues. He's come out to buy some ping cues, and obviously because he's 6 foot, I wanted to charge him extra for the length of the handles. I don't know what happened to Javid. Has he gone? I was going to quite interested in listening to him, to be honest. Yeah, 6'10". Yeah, my lad's 6'5". My youngest brother's 6'4". I'm a mere mortal with 6'3". Pink cues, yeah. He's gone to buy some pink cues. Bats, aren't they? Golf bats, that's what they are. And a pair of trousers that don't reach the floor and some long socks. Apparently lives just outside Edinburgh and he's come down for that. So they give you accommodation for the night. If you don't follow golf, you probably know what I'm on about. You won't know what I'm on about. But we also have pink golf clubs here. And that was, I think for a start, that was their UK thing because they just did America and then they did here. And I can't remember his other name, Roy somebody. He sort of launched it. And we've had all sorts of people. There's a heliport. They own the actual golf club, which is called Thunnock Park now. And they have a helicopter pad there. And the amount of people that's dropped in there. Kylie Minogue, Nigel Mansell, Robbie Williams. There's endless lists of them. And a lot of them, they have to have... You used to text shopping. We used to have a free phone in Tesco's for another company that I work with. And you'd rush down the thing to take the shopping for them. And they'd open the door, and just on the sideboard would be the same photo that was in everybody else's house. But right in the middle, there'd be Kylie Minogue or Robbie Williams or something like that. And their family member was also in that group because a lot of them, they had to have specific photos, and that was the only ones they were allowed to have. Obviously for the brand, isn't it, really? Because otherwise everybody do it. Do I golf now? The only thing I've ever done here is... I had to go on their golf range once, and you think, I've just said it, I know golf's a waste of a good walk, but you actually go on the old firing range and knock 30, 40 balls out into the mist, and the next morning when you get up, you find out you've got muscles you never knew you had. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a good laugh, that, yeah. And there was a guy, he drove a tractor with a thing on it, which was a mechanism to collect all the balls up, so he didn't have to do it individually. And we were sort of taking the mickey, saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to fire him at you. If you do that, you'll be thrown off the course." I thought, well, he ain't got it. Like we were going to, you know what I mean? Yeah, Bill, yeah. Yeah, he loves it. Bill was on the show the other week, you know. He actually got snowed in, so he he couldn't get out. I think that's what it was. We're still mates. We still got Facebook. We're still on the Facebook Messenger. I think Bill enjoys his golf, doesn't he? Yeah, there isn't really any sport that suits me because I've never really had the time. Cycling. I'm now a cyclist, aren't I? That's a good video tomorrow night. Yeah, I do. It's lovely. But I say it's still about. Just sort of not, you don't see him, but we do. I ain't spoke to him for a couple of weeks though, because Graham left Facebook. So yeah, they will do, won't they? It's the same with any sport though. And I suppose if it gets you out of the house, it gets you out of the house. I mean, just imagine Bill's 70. And then if you don't watch it, you end up sitting in your house watching telly and then only going out for doctor's appointments. So it's spot on, isn't it? You need something to get you out of the place. But so I don't do any sport anyway, apart from now cycling. But I really enjoy that. And I got up on Monday morning. To be honest, I wasn't in the best of moods. I was tired. I hadn't slept very well. I decided to go out for the day. I'd organised this camera because I was going to get it from Amazon, and then they've said, I couldn't have it for a week. And I thought, so I actually paid 15 quid more and bought it from Argos because I knew I was keeping it, so I didn't need to send it back. And so that's what I did. Anyway, I went and picked that up, and I thought, right, I'm going to the coast. So off I went to the coast, and every single car that I got behind, I was grumbling under my breath. I was in a foul mood, just wanted everybody to get out of the way. Anyway, eventually I got to Mablethorpe, so I set the camera up, sat in the car. So I think it must have been, it was probably 12 o'clock by the time I got there, so it must have been about 10:30 when I set off. So it took me about 10-15 minutes to organise that. And then I just clamped it onto I went for a walk on the beach. No pedal power, guy. No, just pedal power. I want to lose weight, not go for a ride. I used to enjoy going for a walk, but the only problem is, somebody my age, you can only really walk probably. So whatever you walk there, you've got to walk back because you're not going to come back on the bus, and your car's in the car park behind you. So if you walk 2 miles, you're like, it's a cracking walk. Then you've got another 2 to walk back. And by the time you get to the end of 4 miles, you know what I mean? I mean, I walked 6 one day, and it was freezing cold, and there was a howling wind, and I was all sort of wrapped up in that. And I actually thought I was going to keel over. This was when I first started taking any exercise at all. I thought I was about doomed, to be honest. Anyway, I didn't do that anymore. But you get on a bike, and where it would take you an hour, you can be there in 10 minutes. So you can get a lot further up, can't you? So that's what we're on with. So yes, last week I went from Mablethorpe, where I normally start off. I'm 64 roundabout, so I got from Mablethorpe, and there's a place that they built specially because they got flooded. They've got all these outfalls to get rid of the water because it's all flat there, and they've built up like sand dunes and stuff like that. But it got flooded out once, and I can't remember what year it was. So they did all these defences. So they put these dikes in for the water to run into, and then they put outfalls into the sea for the fresh water to go out into the sea. And the one bit they've built this big area where it can all come down the rivers and stay. Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's never stopped for bloody weeks. We actually had a break in it on Monday, and it was amazing. That's what I was getting onto. So I went down there, and the feeling of getting outside, because I hadn't done it for a couple of weeks. What did I do last week? I missed it all last week because I say Mum and Dad haven't been very well. The week before, I just went for a local sort of roundabout down here. All right, catch you later, John Paul. I'm going to go in a minute. We've been on 40 minutes. I had a quick bit of a local ride round the week before, but so at least he got out of the house. But then last week I didn't do anything, and you like I've got used to taking regular exercise now, so I get fed up. It was a Chinese at midnight. Do you live in somewhere else? A Chinese at bloody midnight. Well, it depends what time you get up, doesn't it? If you're on nights, I suppose. I did a Chinese for ages. We used to have a really nice one here, and they shut down. The guy died, and his daughter used to cook, she used to serve and answer the phone. And as soon as he died, they just closed it all down. And the thing is with Chinese people, they don't really need the money. So they closed it down. Still got the menu in the window, and he's been dead 10 years. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, because I presume they do, yeah. Yeah, but I won't be able to physically eat it this time. I'd end up with indigestion all bloody night. I've got to be careful what I eat now. I'm getting old. I went to Subway the other night. I haven't been there for ages. And I always get their Philly cheese. And I always have it warmed up. And I spotted some, I don't know what that is. No, I don't want to do that. There's it looks like a 7 with a line through it. Yes, right. And then an A next to it. So I don't know what that is. I put some block words in because I was doing a stream when I was on my bike, and there was a guy in the chat putting all sorts of N words in. So I actually blocked the words. So I don't know whether there's something in there that it's took, but actually it should show me what it is. But it looks like a 7 with a line through it, and then a little small A next to it. And I've seen it a few times tonight. I'll have to Google that when I go off. Yeah, it takes some doing. Even the short ones are, I went to Mexico once. They're not very tall. Is there any tall Mexicans? They're all built like this and about 5'2". I suppose, I don't know. I nearly said something racist then, so I'm not going to say that. And they don't smile much either. If you smile at them, they go. So I actually did some mixing this morning. When I first started mixing, I would just sit there and mix hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millilitres of juice that I was never, ever, ever going to vape. And now I'll think, I need to mix because I'm going to run out in 3 days. And then all of a sudden I get the urge. Yeah, I've only been to the touristy places, to be honest. Cancun. I went to Cancun, Mayan Riviera. I've never actually been to Mexico City or anywhere like that. But it's pretty cool. They're nice people. And obviously I was drinking then, and you could get, in a Mexican all-inclusive, you say, I'll have a Jack Daniels, and that's exactly what you get. But I was supping vodka one night, and I was having to ask him to put less in. He says, why do you want to put less in? I said, well, there's no rule to how many times I can come up to the bar. So if I just have less of it, I can have more then. Oh, right, okay. It was that bloody strong you couldn't drink it. It nearly took your throat out. And it was absolute. Good evening, Mr. Cloud Chucker. How are you doing? Yeah, so I mixed myself 250 mils up in a big bottle. I'm down to 1 milligram per 100 millilitres. Still makes me feel sick, but I don't. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it makes you feel sick. Oh wow. Yeah, to be honest, in these little things, that type of thing, I have it 12 milligram. I'm still on 12. I've been stopped smoking 10 years, and I'm still on 12 and 3. That's what it is, isn't it? I knocked it down to 10 once, and then just that. That's all I ever did. So I just went back to 12, and I just liked 12. I've got 3.5 litres of it here. I maybe want to have another litre before it all goes pear-shaped. Trouble is, it's where to keep it, really. We've got a wine fridge. I used to have a big fridge freezer in the back, and it went wrong, and we've never replaced it because we don't really need it. There's only us two here. So To be honest, it's taking up space in my wife's wine fridge. Because, I don't encourage anybody to drink alcohol. It's just empty carbs. What are you up to then, Mike? Not sure it'd make any difference if they actually saw that. I don't know whether you're supposed to do that on there anyway, but I didn't want it vape related because otherwise I'll squash it. Started on 18 milligram freebase in 2012. Good times. Yeah, I could never do 18. I've never done 18. I got 18. I got a 10 mil of 18, and I took it back. I got 3 for a tenner, I think, or 3 for 20 or whatever they were doing at the time, because obviously it's gone down. And I got 3 bottles, and I went back. So this is too strong for me. So he swapped the 2 that were full for 2 12s, and I've been on 12 ever since. So I knocked it down to 10 once, and whether it was psychological or what, but I just seem to be chugging away all the time. But there we go. My local shop only had 24 milligram left once. That was an experience. Well, I was talking to a bloke one day in a vape shop, and he was one of them, though, to be honest. I said, "Oh, what do you have?" He says, "Oh, I vape 24 milligram in a sub-ohm. It's the only thing that does me any good." And then starts chugging on it, and you won't go in green route, but you just think, wow. Oh, is that what you do? Pure VG, 3 milligram, no flavour. No, I vape Fluid Tonics. And then there's another one I make, which has got cranberry, some shock in it, which is a citrus, and then a sour. And that's that PBJ. There we go. I make it in 250 mils. And that's basically all I really use. I bought a couple of bottles of just to try that. That's beautiful. That new one from Fluid, and that one that Faddy's made is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. The one that Fluid have made tastes like them lollies that you could buy, them round ones as a kid, like candy lollies, stuck together candy. Same, Benny put it right, same sort of consistency as a Lovat. And that's exactly what that tastes like. And the other stuff is just dreamy. It's out of this world. You can really taste the wick. We'll be 10 years sober in August. Time flies, but I'm a better person. Well, I'm 15 months. And my life changed a lot for the better. The original problem's still there, obviously. But there's no point in doing what I was doing because it just makes it worse. That's an amazing feat, that, Mike. We ought to go out and have a drink. No, we didn't. No, wrong thing. We ought to get you a plaque made. I never went to a meeting, so I don't know. I picked her lass up tonight. And when her ex-partner rang up for her, I said, is she in a good state? And he says, what do you mean? I said, well, last time I picked her up, I said, you let her out of the house, and she was so drunk. I said, she fell over and nearly killed herself on the floor. And I said, I'm not having that, mate. I'm not having it. No, she's sober. And I went round. She said, oh, I'm ever so embarrassed. I said, don't be embarrassed. I said, I've had my battles with the source, so I said, don't be embarrassed. But I said, I just thought that if he'd have kept you at his house, because it's her ex-husband, if he'd have kept you at his house for the night, you'd have been better off going to sleep there than smashing your head on the floor outside your house. Anyway, I picked her up. She was fine. And she's lovely and all. She's a lovely, lovely woman, but it's just an illness, isn't it? Says me. Yeah, congratulations, Matt. You've done really well with that. You need a pat on the back and a big glass of Diet Pop. You're more than welcome, mate. The thing is with addictions, it's amazing how it just takes over your complete life, doesn't it? It's all you ever think about in the end. can you do a job at 7 in the morning? And your brain says, no, we drink on a Tuesday night. You can't work on a Wednesday. And it's like, it's controlling what you're doing in your life. It's ridiculous, isn't it, really? But it just takes over. It's all you ever think about. You've done an amazing job there, mate. I'm a bit bloody itchy. Anyway, I suppose I better go. What have we been on? I'll give it another 10 minutes, then we're done an hour. And hopefully, if you watch on the replay, please hit the thumbs up. It'd be fabulous. Hopefully, we're going to have one day, maybe in the future. You never know. We're on about 660 odd, 666 as of this morning. The number of the beast. So that's come on a bit, really, for just over a year. That's not bad going just for an old ball bloke going for a walk, is it? Sometimes, like when you were doing the vape stuff, you had to wait for something to come out so you had some content. You could fill it in between by buying cheap vape juice just to, just something to put on there. But the one thing about going for a walk is you can walk out your door and do it at any time. And if you can think of something to say into the camera for 10 minutes, you bet yourself a video, aren't you? Yeah, that's right, yeah. 666, the number of the beast. Yeah, that's exactly right, Mike. That's exactly right. I had a conversations with a few of my friends, and that was, it's like we were going away. They're like, well, you could just have a couple of drinks. You haven't really grasped this, have you? Yeah, but you weren't that bad on it. How do you know you didn't live here? I once remember I'd supped a full bottle of single malt, which is like 42, 43%. And I supped it in no time at all. And I was on my hands and knees going through the cupboards to see if I could find something else to drink. And, and you think, God, how much did you want? 666. So what did you put before the 666, Graham? I'm going to show you. Where's the other phone? Hang on. I'm going to show you. No, missed. Chat just went up. So what's that symbol mean? Because it's come up on a few people's stuff. Oh, it's a devil emoji. Ah, right, I see. But it must be off a computer, is it? It's not off a phone. But that's what it looks like to us. Because a guy earlier on, he put something, and I got it with him and all. And what I was asking about, there we go. No, it was you. Where are we? No, it's all you. It's all you. No, the other guy, there's another guy. Anyway, I can't find it now. It's gone too far back. Satan is coming. Well, it's a lot steadier than it used to be. But I suppose this one, I really ought to do one on a Monday night on a regular basis. But by the time Lou's coming, and then I've had something to eat with her, and then she goes, then I've got to edit what I've done that day. To be really honest, by the time I'd finished this week, because it was a 360 video that I had to edit, it took me ages to learn how to start to do that. And Sue coming at 10 past 11 at night, and I'd just finished, and I've been at it since 10 in the morning. So, it was, that's why that's why I don't get a chance to do live streams, really. Tuesday night would be the obvious one, but I was late coming in. So that would have been a waste of time, but I'm just too busy. Okay, Guy, nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, I've been out, yeah. Yeah, there's a video coming up tomorrow night. Yeah, Graham's going as well, so I'm going in a minute as well. Yeah, there is one tomorrow night, Mike, and that is... I'll not tell you what it is, you'll have to watch it. I went down for a ride down the coast. It was good. I enjoyed that. And it was the first day I've been out for a couple of weeks because it's been bloody awful, hasn't it, really? So I got there, and there was a little bit of rain while I was on the way there, and then that went away. And I got a decent afternoon, but as soon as it started to get slightly a bit dark, it was so cold. Um, anyway, just cycle faster, don't you, really? Right, Mike, I'm going to disappear, mate. Nice to speak to you, but it's come to that time of night. I really ought to be going to bed. It's 12:20. And to be honest, I'm tired tonight. I didn't get up that early, but I am actually tired tonight. Um, I've got to get my head down because I want to get on again tomorrow. It's been a bit boring today, a bit quiet. So if I get my head down, get up early, go and smash it out tomorrow. Give it a good day tomorrow. Try and get some money in. I want some wages. Anyway, if you watch this on the replay, thank you very much. You're amazing. If you've not seen me before and you're interested in this type of content, please hit the thumbs up and even subscribe if you want to. And if you don't like it, well, all well and good. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.